Namaste. A beautiful, clear spring day, huh? The first really spring-like day since we've had our whole 1 month of winter. So, of course, the sun has gone into Pisces or Aquarius, Makara Sankranti, and the moon just went through a big eclipse phase, so that's kicked off the spring weather, and it's gorgeous. It's a little hot, but hey, who cares? So anyway, where we left off, Parshuram is getting his mind blown by Samvarta. He's getting the deluge of mercy. And listening to his words, the book goes on. Parashuram, with folded hands and prayerful voice, addressed the sage thus: O great soul, bless me who is distressed by this worldly life, by putting me on the fearless, auspicious path. Abhaya, fearless. My guru's, Adi Guru's name, his family name was Abhaya. Abhaya Charanaravindam. So this fearless phase of life is when you lose your attachment to the body, the gross body, the Annamaya-kosha, the food body, the meat body, this bag of bones. And then you realize, slowly, I am nothing but pure consciousness. Nothing can affect me. Certainly nothing can kill me or hurt me. I go on and on and on. The never-ending story. So Parshuram wants to be taken out of the suffering of material life. He's suffering. Even though he's so powerful and so realized and so advanced in so many ways. He's suffering because he saw how he could be deluded by his own mind. How his fear and anger could be restimulated by simply the appearance of someone like Ramachandra. So he lost his cool. He lost all his ascesis. He got his ascesis kicked. So now he's feeling great remorse. And actually, this is a wonderful opportunity for him, or for anyone who is in that state of mind, to go beyond, to make further advancement to a higher platform. It's a shock, and a shock can be used to overcome the granthis, the knots in the kula, the energy flow of the kundalini. We're talking about that in our other series. So, being addressed thus, the merciful sage spoke again. My child, listen to my words, the essence of all knowledge. The path pursued by you presently is dreadful and highly harmful, because he's getting caught up in the appearances of the world and thinks they're real. Isn't this everybody's story? Isn't this your story, my story? We see these things in the world and we think, oh, this is real. I have to respond to this. I have to do something about this. I have to be or have or do or think or know something in regards to this. Because we think it's real. If we understood that it's just a dream, it couldn't affect us. Try to understand. This material life is painful only because we give it more importance than it really has. So he goes on. It is like someone deluded by fate, fearlessly and ignorantly wandering aimlessly in an unknown path, which is filled with enemies, and suffers frequently, expecting comfort. Similar is the journey in the worldly life. The key here is expecting comfort. This world is known as Martyaloka, the world of death. So in the world of death, can we be comfortable? Can we be fearless? Can we feel at home? Like everything's going to go nicely for us? No, it's not possible. Because sooner or later we have to leave this place, this body, this life, all of our attachments and possessions, and even our mind, our knowledge, our sense of identity, who we think we are. All of this is going to go away. I just went through a couple of weeks back the death of my sannyas guru. And it was wonderful seeing how he approached death without any fear, without any attachment or hesitation. He was just like, bye. I'm going to disappear now. Bye. And he did. He did. Very, very wonderful. So anyway, someone deluded by fate. It's our fate to be deluded. Why? Because we desired this life. We wanted this life. We created this body with our creative potential. And then we identify with it, and we follow the path of our karma, fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it. And in all this, we think, I am the doer. No. You're not the doer. God is the doer. You're just along for the ride. But because you're deluded, you're thinking, this is me, this is I, this is mine. And because of that, we suffer. An unknown path, wandering aimlessly in an unknown path, filled with enemies. And you might think that our enemies are like, the other guy or another country or another political party or religion. But no, the enemies are our own attachment, our own lust, our own ignorance, our laziness, and so on. See, our lack of trust in a real guru. These are our real enemies. And because of these enemies, we are defeated again and again, and we suffer. So we need some knowledge. He says here, the essence of all knowledge. And when we have this knowledge, then suddenly all these enemies become impotent. They can't hurt us anymore. So the journey in worldly life is full of suffering. Then, awakened by some great person, he proceeds in the right path, ridiculing those in the wrong path. He's talking about Parshuram. He's talking about Parshuram, that he's getting blessed now. He's getting benedicted by a great person, Samvarta. He's getting this knowledge, the essence of all knowledge. That knowledge, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, knowing which there is nothing more to be known. Wow, what is that knowledge? I want that knowledge. And of course, that's the knowledge of Jnana Tattva, Atma Tattva, the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of pure consciousness, pure being, apart from the existence of temporary things, becoming, and so forth. So, similarly, initiated by my guru, I am happily going all over on the right path, ridiculing those on the wrong path, like you, Parshuram, you idiot. Look at how you deviated from Dharma, just out of a feeling of revenge for your father, who was simply experiencing his fate, his karma, to be killed like that. You went and murdered 21 generations of Kshatriyas all over the world. My God, now how could you be so dumb? How could you be so stupid? You're a Brahmana. You're supposed to know better than that. You're supposed to follow the path of peace, the way of sattva, truth, eternity and knowledge. Not get all angry and go out and beg some weapon from Shiva and then go and murder a bunch of innocent people. That was stupid. Now you're going to have to overcome all that bad karma. So anyway, the path of worldly life is contradictory and painful. Though suffering in life, the deluded do not realize this. Foolish persons are confined to the web of misery with a notional happiness. Notional. What does that mean? I think I'm happy if I have more money. I think I'm happy if I have a new car. I think I'm happy if I have a certain job title. Oh, I was just reading this really cool article by this psychoanalyst who went into private practice, and he got a clientele of Silicon Valley executives, right? And these guys are coming to him and they say, I'm suffering. Well, why are you suffering? Oh, my job is terrible. Well, you don't like your job? Quit it. He says, no, my job is who I am. I am the vice president of blankety blank at such and such, .com. He thinks he has to have that job to be somebody, to be who he really is or something like that. That's his destiny. But that's a concoction. That's just nonsense. He's working himself 18 hours a day, neglecting the whole rest of his life just to have this high-paying, high-status job. And what is it? It's a bunch of headaches. The higher you go in executive position and power, the more headaches, the more problems you have, the more miserable you are, the more you're suffering. But you think you're happy because you have that job title? You're deluded. You're sick, man. Sick. Get over it. So foolish persons are confined to the web of misery with a notional happiness, a label, a name, a category. Oh, now you're Dr. So-and-so. Great, now you can suffer even more. To them, the path that we sages travel is difficult to access. The path. We're talking a lot about the path in our other series about Kundalini, the Kula path, Tantra, and so on, the chakras and this and that. So why is this difficult? Well, for one thing, people don't have any knowledge. Or if they have a little bit of knowledge about the chakras, they don't understand what to do about it, how to apply it. They don't understand how these things work. Although it's really not that difficult. They've spent all of their attention and effort learning all these useless things just basically to get a good job. But what's the value of that? At the end of life, when you're facing death and dissolution, are those things going to help you? No. So you should learn about the path. The path is manifested in the human body by the Shushumna nerve channel between the root chakra and the Sahasrara, the top of the head. The Kundalini, life energy, sex energy, sits coiled at the bottom of the root chakra. And then she begins to rise. She's trying to reunite with Shiva in the Sahasrara chakra. So on the way, she encounters different blocks. And these blocks are our attachments, our ignorance, our nonsense. And because of that, we suffer. We can't get the enjoyment that we deserve by uniting the Shakti with Shiva. It's that simple. And, well, we'll go into more detail on this later. Let me read the conclusion of this. Therefore, by understanding the nature of self-knowledge with a capital S, with detachment, worship Maheśvarī, Śakti, goddess, the inner strength, as taught by the Guru. Then, with a little of her grace, attain oneness with the self, again, capital S, which is equanimous with everything. Knowing other than that self to be a reflection or semblance of that Shakti, which is none other than yourself, through a universal Guru, you move about freely like me, without doubt, fear, or disturbance. So here he is, giving the instruction. All of this so far has just been the setup. Poor Parshuram. He's like a pawn in the game, between Shiva and Shakti. That you go and try to make your way in this material life, but because you're deluded by ignorance, you experience nothing but suffering. So, take this instruction. Worship Maheśvarī. Worship the Shakti. Worship the power within. And in this way, you will come to realize your identity with the powerful one, Shiva, or God. Om Tat Sat. Om Harihi Om.